Hey, so I forgot to film an intro, so what is up you guys? We're going in with the makeup tutorial today, and I'm starting with my Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation. I believe I have this in the shade Natural Beige, and I actually really love this foundation. It's actually one of my favorites, which you will see here soon. So I'm just taking that on my e.l.f. Total Complexion sponge, and I'm just blending that into my skin. I will say with the sponge, it takes a little bit longer for me to get the coverage that I like, but the application, it just looks so beautiful with the sponge. And I do like it with the brush as well. A sponge is just my favorite way. And now I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm just applying that underneath my eyes and then the usual down the center of the face. I'm going to use the pointed end of my e.l.f. complexion sponge and blend that in. Oops, I forgot that I was going to cream contour. So I'm going in with the, this is a ColourPop contour stick, and I forgot the shade. But I'm just, I'm applying this exactly where I would use a powder bronzer. And so just go into a little bit more depth with that. So the temples, the top of the forehead, my hollows of my cheeks, my nose to make it look a little bit more slim and contoured, as well as underneath my lip to make that look a little more pouty. So now I'm using my e.l.f. Total Complexion sponge, the pointed tip, to blend all of that in. And I must say that I'm in love with this sponge. I forgot to mention it in my January favorites, but I love this sponge. This is a recommendation by Juicy Jazz here on YouTube. I would recommend checking her out, especially if you like watching YouTubers who don't cuss or anything. And right here, I am just setting my face with my Maybelline Fit Me powder as always. And I'm using the damp sponge just that way it doesn't look as dry. But I'm recently learning that I need a not so heavy powder for all over my face, and that this powder is just perfect for only my under eye area. And now I'm going in with my Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil. This one kind of has like the brow definer tip, which I'm not a fan of. Somehow I just keep ending up with brow pencils like this because it's all they have when I go buy them. I don't know who decided to create this or why they thought it was a good idea, but I like pencils, if you know what I mean. But I mean, I think if I got a darker shade, I wouldn't mind it as much. But I feel like I really have to build this shade up, which is ash brown, in order to get the the color and intensity that I like. But I mean, overall, it's a meh brow pencil for my own personal taste. Next, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow palette, and I'm just throwing in this brown shade, this transition shade, into my crease. And this is actually the Rose in the Air palette, sorry I forgot to mention. And I'm just throwing that into the crease to add some depth and definition so it's not just all flat. Then I'm taking this orange shade and I'm just going to put that a little bit lower in my crease, but definitely pack it on the outer corner of my eye. Now I'm going in with this L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Amber Rush, and I'm using this dry just because this was kind of a daytime look. I was running errands this day and I just really wanted to look really put together and just, you know, dress myself up, and so this is really pretty dry. This is actually a spin off of the look that I did Wednesday night for church, only I wet the eyeshadow to make it more intense and more glam for church. Okay, and now I'm going in with my L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. I recently fell in love with this mascara. It just adds so much length and it just makes your lashes so beautiful. I will pick this one over the Voluminous Lash Paradise any day, and so yeah, I recommend this mascara. And now I'm going in with bronzer, and I'm just using my number 7 maple bronzer. And since I did contour, I'm really only bronzing with this powder. So just adding it to the hollows of my cheeks, the outer perimeter of my face. And I'm doing it more blowing out right there on the hollows of my cheeks, and you know, just building it up underneath my chin, because I don't like to cream contour under there because I don't ever feel like I ever blend it out right. So let's just avoid the problem. Now I'm getting my nose, like I said, just to make it look a little bit more slim, because I really feel like the tip of my nose is really fat and I don't like it. And then, you know, just to make that bottom lip a little more pouty. Now I'm mixing this pink shade and this peach shade, and I'm just going to add that as blush. And this is just to add a really pretty flush to the cheeks, and these blushes are really pigmented, so I don't have to go in a ton for this. And if you watch my January favorites, you will see a few dupes for this blush palette, since I'm always using it. And since it's daytime, I didn't want too much of a blinding highlight, so I'm going in with this Essence Pure Nude highlighter in Be My Highlight. It's really natural, and then as I was putting this on, I noticed that it was looking a little bit ashy with the sponge. So I ended up going in with a brush and blending that out better, so that way it didn't look so ashy on my skin. Now I'm just going in and I'm getting my highlighting my brow bone and my inner corners just to make my eyes look more awake, and then it's time to set. So I'm using my Ulta Dewy Setting Spray, and I'm just to add some hydration back in my skin, because like I said, I felt that the Fit Me powder was just drying me out a little too much. And I'm just melting all of that in so that way my face doesn't look so powdery. And then I'm going to go in and, you know, just fix some parts of my bun that I messed up while doing my makeup. And yeah, we're just going to put our little mom bun in place. That's what I call it. You know, just something simple to run errands. And yeah, and so that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I love you guys, but always remember that Jesus loves you more, and I will see you in my next video. Oh, please subscribe.